Ello 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 Dolls. It is I, ArtWorkOfDR, you know, your girl, and we are back with another art video. And this time, this video is all about turning yourself into a cute chibi cartoon. It's simple, easy, anyone can do it. There is no wrong way to do this. So let's just go ahead and get right into the teaching. Let's have some fun. Now it's time to sketch out the basic steps for your cartoon. You're turning yourself into a cartoon. You can also turn other people into a cartoon. But I feel once you've learned how to turn yourself into a cartoon, you can definitely turn other people into a cartoon as well. But definitely practice on yourself. This is myself. I did my hair the way my hair was done that day. I picked a random outfit, put it together, and I'm going to show you how I did that. Now this is a cute, fun chibi style. It does not mean it's the only way. So this is bigger than the paper I used last time, but it'll work just as well. This is just regular sketching paper, and you're just going to lightly draw out a circle, freehand, or if you have anything that is round, like an old canister lid, if it's the size you want, you can definitely trace over that. There is nothing wrong with using a guide. But if you hand sketch, it doesn't have to be perfect right away. You can sit after you do the basic one, then you can just come in and kind of try to fill out where you need. Pick a simple body shape. Last time we just kind of did a little, almost like an oval or a teardrop, because if it was to go up, you could do it like that. Put it right there with the body. You can put the arms on the side here. You can also put arms up. And you're just going to put some little round bits for the legs. So there's the basic body shape that you can do. It doesn't always have to look the same every character that you do. Let's get a little closer there for you. Okay. So, like I said, this is just a very light sketch. Depending on what paper you're going to be using, if you use your full strength while sketching out your sketch, there will be no room to erase anything, even if it's erasable, like this pencil is. If you go really dark, okay, really dark, you can erase it, but there's going to be an indent in the paper. There's going to be a little bit of that green color left. So I always say start off nice and soft. So now you're going to go ahead and look at yourself in a mirror, or you already know what your hair looks like, and you're going to start sketching out your hair. Today, my hair is kind of parted, and I've kind of got a bun, but there's some loose hair. And we're just going to kind of lightly sketch it in for now, because we can come back and add in details. Okay? Some parts in there. Look at that. I have an ear showing on this side, so we're going to go ahead and put the ear in there. And now you can draw a baseline across the face so you know where to put the nose. Now you can do a little dot for a nose, a little circle for a nose. You can do lines. You can just do a straight line. There's tons of different ways. However you want to show off your nose, show off your nose. But this is just a cute little chibi, so we're just going to do this little dot. Little oval shape right about there. Okay? And then we can sketch in where the eyes are gonna go. Again, we're just starting off light and just basic. And we want some kind of lips or mouth. I'm a girl, so we're gonna kind of make it look like lips. You can put little circles where you want some blushies maybe, or you can just do some dashes. Your girl on the eyes, you can just add in some eyelashes. Now we're gonna go in and add details in later. This is just basic steps, okay? So far, she's coming around pretty cute, right? And this is actually fun and easy. Kids could follow along and do this too. You could have a drawing party with your children and just sit down and turn each one of you into a little cartoon character. So, okay. Now we're gonna start adding details of the eyes in. Now, again, there's many different ways to do a cartoon you. This is just one cute, fun, easy way that I have been doing cartooning for a while. You make everything chibi and small, and then the facial items can be big, like the eyes can be big, the mouth and nose are going to be small again. And like I said, we're going to add more details in later. Okay, so we got the basis down of her face. So now we can move down and maybe add some clothes. I'm going to put in one of my favorite outfits, which is a dress. So we're just going to kind of go like that. And we can draw her shoes like so. Now, it's basically based on you. If you already dress a certain way, draw your style of clothing. If you want your character to portray the secret side of you, draw her in clothes or him in clothes that you would like to wear but don't already wear. And as you can tell with this particular style, we're not putting in little tiny fingers and all that stuff, but you can add a little round bit for the thumb, just so people can tell that you do have those are hands, they're not just nubs. And down here for the feet, we just went ahead. And then we can kind of go in and erase those little sketch lines that we did for the body shape once we've got the clothes on there. Now, that is basically the steps you're going to need to use to make yourself into a cartoon. We will go ahead and do details coming up. Alright, dolls, so now it's time to add details. I'm going to switch from my basic sketch to the sketch in the book that I actually want to put the piece in. So I already pre-sketched it out into this book so that I can add the details to it. If you yourself want to pre-sketch something and then move it, there's plenty of different ways to do so. Like I was talking about earlier, you can use a light box, transfer the paper over, or you can simply just try again on another piece of paper once you know exactly what you want your piece to look like. There's nothing wrong with that. So we already have our cute little chibi. Okay. Now if you want to add eyebrows in, which I did, you can add that in. If you want to add more detail to the ear, you can do that. If you're wearing an earring, you can add that in. If you're wearing clips, you can add clips into your hair. If If you want your character to wear jewelry, you can add that in now too. Just realized the cuffs of my sleeves have white on them. And then some other details in the hair. So once you have it looking the way you want it, you can start coloring it in with the materials that you've chosen. Make sure that the materials that you have chosen and the paper that you choose match up so that they can be used well together and the piece can turn out as well as you would like it to turn out. This is mixed media paper, and this piece was the one before it. I did with Cool Erase colored pencils, which is the same colored pencil that I sketched it in. And then I also used some chalk pastels just to do the skin. This time, however, I am going to be using markers. So you're going to obviously choose the colors that you want to represent the outfit that you've chosen. And you're just going to start coloring it in. When I use marker, I don't outline first. I do not outline in fine liner or any of that stuff, because sometimes it will bleed, no matter if it says so or not. And just because you're starting the coloring process does not mean that you can't add in other details as you go. Like for me, when I do hair, sometimes I'll notice there's a patch missing or that I don't necessarily like how it's coming together. So as I am filling it in, I will actually draw in extra pieces that I can outline when I'm outlining later. Now with marker, there are plenty of things you can do. Like I said before, you can use cheaper markers when you're just starting out. And I have a mixture of markers myself. I'm going to be just using whatever colors I want that match up with the character that I am making, which is me. So I have green hair and I am light skin toned, so those would be things that I will be trying to accomplish. Now, this is a light base coat for me, but everyone does everything differently. You find what works best for you. Yes, like I said earlier, there are no wrong ways to do art. And if you want to watch YouTubers who do art on a daily basis and learn from them, that is perfectly fine. I myself love watching art YouTubers. They are definitely educational, but the really only way to learn is by practicing yourself. So you're just going to go in and fill in your character of yourself. And then once you've learned how to draw yourself, then you can draw other people. And like I showed earlier, there are plenty of ways to draw yourself as a cartoon. You can totally do less chibi, more anime style. You can do realistic like cartoon, or you can even do portraits of yourself. There's nothing wrong with doing it in a different style. This is just something that I thought could help get you started. So once I've got my light layer down, I'm going to move on, and I'm going to continue with this process until it's done. You can use any material that you like, colored pencils, crayons, pastels, whichever it is that you personally like. you can use those to do any project you wish to do. The basic steps are there, and then once you pick out the material that you're going to use, you adapt the project to fit that medium. If I was going to paint this on a canvas, I would draw it out on paper, then I'd redraw it out on the canvas as best as I could to match my idea sketch that I started with. So just make sure that as you are planning your project, you have the materials that you need. Just like if you were going to use watercolor or gouache on watercolor paper, you would probably want to sketch this out first on sketch paper, just so you have an idea of what you want it to look like. Then, once you have that done, you can either use that drawing to trace it on by using a light box, or if you don't have a light box, you can go up to a window, do it that way. I did that for a long time before I got a light box or a light pad. And then go from there. Once you have sketched it out onto the watercolor paper, you are going to use a little bit of water, a little bit of color, and you're going to build up until you have finished coloring it in. I will outline it. I'm going to go ahead and do this rest of this off camera, and I will show you this at the finish, and we will talk over everything. Alright, dolls, and now the finished piece is finally done, and you have created yourself as a cartoon character. Way to go. Don't forget to post your finished project in the gallery, and that way I can check out and see how you did. It will be lots of fun to see if yours is as cute and chibi that mine have become. And like I said before, there's no wrong way to do this. I did the eyes different, the nose different, the mouth different, the clothing are different, but she's still a cute little chibi little character. There's plenty of ways you can get this done, and with any of your materials that you choose. This is a project for anyone, beginner, someone who has more experience could do this. It's completely up to you. I hope you enjoyed this course, and I hope that you guys also find it entertaining and get inspiration of other ways of keeping yourself creative.